Hello everyone, back here going to do part 2 of this gun. I've had it for about a year now, and I think I owe you guys part 2 of it. Thank you for all the views and all the comments and all the help that you guys tried to give me on the different style grips. Really appreciate it. And so just to jump right into it, this is the Arsenal Sam7sfk-80. That's Arsenal Sam7 series rifle. It's the SBR version that has the Gambit extension on the end, so you can own it without having to have a tax stamp. So someone had asked me, can that be removed? Yes, it can be removed. There's a pin here, and then there's a pin on the bottom. What you would do is grind those off, and I don't know if you'd have to drill them out or pull them out. Nothing's ever easy, but once you got those pins out, this would screw off. All right, so then you could put whatever you wanted on there at that point. You're supposed to have a tax stamp to do that, so make sure you're legal so you don't get in trouble. All right, you can't clean the inside of that. That's something I meant to mention in the first video. It tapers down here, and then it opens up real big and then goes down into the barrel, so you just really can't clean in there. It's not a big deal, just something I wanted to mention. I did find a grip. This one doesn't have a name. I was on Gunbroker and it just called it metal high quality grip. Metal high quality grip, and yeah, it works really well. I had to move it a little bit forward more than what I would like, but that's okay. I believe if I hadn't went with the Picatinny handrail, probably wouldn't need it, because this is what gets really hot. You lose your heat shield whenever you go with this. That's okay, I like it, but it's just part of it I wanted to mention. So someone had asked me about, would the top sight affect putting a top optic or a top mount scope? Yeah, I guess it would, because it's right in the way. I guess if you want to take it off, you just have to grind out the pins. Let's see, get the light there. There. So you'd grind those pins off, and then you could do whatever you needed, but that would be a shame. It has the high quality scope mount on the side of it, so I wonder if there's not a mount for a scope that offsets to the left, sort of like the old Winchester 3030s that were top ejection. You had to put those scopes off to the side, so it'd be a real shame to take away your factory peep sights, because I really like them, but they would be in the way, to answer that question. All right, get you some different angles of the gun. I'm trying to think of any other questions that may have been asked. The Tapco magazine that you may have seen in the first video where I said you had to rack the charging handle forward, well, I found out I was putting 31 rounds in that magazine, so shame on me. You got to know what you're doing, or at least pay attention to what you're doing when you do. You can't do that with the Bulgarian magazines, so the ones I have, I actually tried to put 31 rounds in my Bulgarian magazines, and you cannot. With a little extra force on those Tapcos, it's kind of easy to put that 31st round in, and so if you do that, you'll notice it. You'll have to push your charging handle forward. All right, so I think I touched base on everything that I wanted to talk about. If you guys have any more questions, just let me know. There's always something that you leave out. So I'm gonna prop you up over here. We'll do a couple shots. Oh yeah, I about forgot to show you some of the wear on the bolt. I had the bolt sitting there. Let's set the phone up. Remembered. Y'all cut me some slack. This is like my second video ever. Alright, so nothing major going on here, just some wear finish, which is pretty typical. One thing I was concerned about, I wanted to mention, I've got a little bit of wear on the ejection rail here. I'm not sure if it's the ejection rail, the ejector. Anyways, there's a little bit of material been removed here. This gun has around 3,000 rounds through it. Looks like I could go tens of thousands, but I'm hoping that's something that maybe broke itself in. Doesn't really change much anymore. So I contacted Arsenal. They had me to run it by a machine shop or a gunsmith. I had a pretty good machine shop close by. I sent them the tolerances, and I'm waiting on them to respond. They seem very, very concerned. So we'll see what they have to say about it. But This gun's awesome. Alright, so back to propping it. Fire off about 30 rounds. Alright, you probably won't be able to see the target. For one, it's painted green and it's in the shade, but you should be able to hear the bullets hitting the metal. That's not really what it's all about. What I'd like for you to see is these fireballs coming out the end of the gun, because in the first video you can't really see it. On the front of it you get about a 16-inch fireball comes out the front, and on the side you get about a 12-inch on each side. If you look in the first video, you'll see it every so often. Well, it's doing that every single time. Something about the camera, the frame rate, or however, you guys know how that works. It just can't pick that flame up fast enough, apparently. But this gun puts off a massive shockwave. It's one of those things, whenever you start shooting, your buddies are beside you, and by the time you get done emptying a 30 or 40 round magazine, they're backed up around 6 to 8 foot and standing back there kind of laughing, shaking their heads. So it's one of those deals. An extremely loud gun, very fun to shoot. Definitely not something you'd want to try to snipe with or be concealed at all, pretty much, or even shoot in a group of guys if you really was in a combat. But it is really nice. It's a nice firearm. All right, so if you guys have any more questions, y'all just let me know. No need making this video longer than what it needs to be. Let me get you propped up here, fire off some rounds. Appreciate you guys today. Alright, so I got to get the gun back together here. And, you know, since everybody's waiting on me, of course, it's going to take just a little longer than it should. I know what you're thinking. Well, what if you was in a firefight? Well, I don't know. I'm just a civilian anyway, so I really have no business being in a firefight. I am a target shooter. Alright, so get my ear protection on. Thanks for being patient. Alright, hopefully I'm in front of it. Clear? Alright. Well, this time the battery didn't go dead. Sorry about that in the first video. Yeah, the battery went dead, obviously. It's kind of the conclusion anyways, but it did stink that the battery went dead. So, sneak my safety back on here. I'm too comfortable shooting by myself. Alright, so, yeah. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.